Ezzy, I'm back. All right, y'all, it's time to read and react. Y'all see the headlines. Tesla stock tumbles 7% as shipments slump. New price cuts announced in China. Yahoo Finance, let's hit it.
Tesla shares were hit hard today on concerns coming out of China. Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian joins us out with the details. 7%. That was quite a drop.
Yeah, I mean, multi-week lows here since I think mid-February, since last time we saw these levels.
And Tesla had slumped, I think in December or January, and it was just climbing back up from 180, the low 180s, to get up to almost 200, or I think it was right at around 200 before this. So to see it get knocked down again, down $14 a share, I think, and it's at 180 something. So yeah, it was definitely it was just struggling to get back to 200.
Two things here. First off, we saw that shipments fell in February, down 16% sequentially to 60,000 units and down 19% from a year ago. What's going on here? Well, we had the Chinese lunar holiday that dropped in February of this year, so that obviously depressed.
Every year, Chinese lunar holiday starts kicking off the end of January. I think January 30th is when things start. I'm not saying that's the actual first day, but that's when you start seeing the effects of, people taking off work and, production slowing down.
Presses like economic activity and sales, things like that. Tesla also tends to push out their China shipments later in the quarter, so probably see more of a catch up there in March. But that combined with also, this is low amount, but combined also with price cuts we saw Tesla initiate here in China of about $4,800 for Model 3 and Model Y vehicles, based on insurance subsidies, some options discounting, things like that. But both of these things point to potentially a slowdown maybe for them in this once hot Chinese EV market.
Let's talk Ford for a second. Reports U.S. sales.
No, I'm good. I'm good on Ford. So let's get into it. Where we at? My little highlighter tool. All right, so there you go. Tesla shares dropped to new multi-week lows as slowing China shipments and new price cuts. They are hint at troubles. Okay, Okay, I can't read today. All right, so slowing China shipments and new price cuts over there in China. They hint at troubles for the EV stalwart in the world's largest car market now, which is China. Because there's so many people over there. Tesla reported 60,365 vehicle shipments from its Gigafactory in Shanghai in February. According to the preliminary data from China's PCA, which stands for Passenger Car Association via Bloomberg News, the February shipments represent a 16% drop from a month ago, a 19% drop from a year ago, and the lowest shipment total since December of 2022. Tesla shares closed down 7.16%, its lowest close since February of 2013. All right, so let's knock it out. Here we go. The Chinese lunar holiday, during which the country shuts down for nearly 2 weeks. Okay, this is huge because production is slowing, and you need people to. People are leaving the factories. Okay, the country shuts down for nearly 2 weeks, so no one's making cars. Even if people do want to buy cars, no one's making them. So it creates like a bottleneck, Let's go. Fell in February of this year. Historically, this has led to depressed economic activity and sales in the country. Yeah, this happens every year. I've seen this with Tesla stock multiple times already. Tesla uses earlier months in the quarter to fulfill shipments outside of China and generally ramps up shipments later in the quarter for China domestic sales. So this is what they go through. They found a way to get around it. So you got to understand that the stock is going to bounce back up because they'll make up those sales later on in the first quarter. So in other words, this month, which is March, because it's the last month of the first quarter of the year. So yeah, Tesla uses earlier months in the quarter to fulfill shipments outside of China and generally ramps up its shipments later in the quarter for China. So they're focusing on shipments outside. They focused on shipments outside of China in basically end of January all the way through end of February. Now that we're in March, today's March 4th, they're going to start ramping up production in China to make up for the lunar holiday losses. So keep that in mind. So if I'm buying calls or if I'm trading it, I'm swing trading it, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking to go long on Tesla, especially since the traveling trader Z, he noticed or he identified a fair value gap. So there are multiple indications that the stock is gonna jump at least in the near term. Not saying it's gonna keep going up from here on out, but for those swing traders and day traders, like look for a nice little bump. That's all I'm saying. Hey, but don't quote me on this. This isn't trading or investment advice. All right, I don't know anything. But Tesla's lowest shipment total in over a year is a concern for the company. All right. Which sees China as a huge growth market. Even China's BYD, Build Your Dreams, it stands for, which surpassed Tesla in overall EV sales in Q4 and generally dominates the Chinese EV market, saw its February sales tumble also. It tumbled to 122,311 units from 193,655, which was a 37% drop. All right, now here you can see the magnitude of the drops. So Tesla China shipments slipped in February. So around here, right in basically Christmas time 2023, you see is basically at like 93, the low 90,000s. Okay, and then January, it dropped all the way down to about 70,000. And then February, by the end of February, basically a little over a week ago. Yeah, a little over a week ago. Because February had 29 days this year. You see it's down to 60,000. So from basically 93,000 down to 60,000. It's a drop of 30-something thousand cars, right? Or cars delivered in a 2-month span. That's huge. So then here we go. China now sells the most EVs in the world, but a recent slowdown in demand for EVs has led automakers to engage in another price war early this year, and this includes Tesla. Okay, so according to the report from Deutsche Bank's Emmanuel Rosner, published on Monday, March 4th, 2024, Tesla's latest incentives on the mainland include the equivalent of $4,800 in price cuts, okay, to customers who purchase from existing investors, who purchase from existing inventories of Model 3 and Model Y vehicles by end of March. Now, part of that, the whole existing inventories, is because the company has to pay money to hold these vehicles and hold inventory, and they base it on the square foot. Because I worked in the car business, they base it on the square foot of the space that you're holding the inventory. So you could say each car is taking up, let's say each car is taking up 100 1,000 square feet. Let's say 1,000 square feet. So then, how much money does it cost per 1,000 square feet? Is how the company will look at it, and they say, damn, this this car is costing, each car is costing us whatever, $500 per square foot, or each car is costing us $4,000 per 1,000 square feet to hold every day. So every day, because let's say they're renting the spot for 50,000, the warehouse where they're holding the cars, right, the vehicles. Let's say they're renting it for 100,000 a month, or let's say that they bought it, but they bought it on like a loan, right, and they have to pay the loan every month. They're paying off the mortgage. Either way, they'll break it down to how much money they're spending a month to pay off, to pay for that building that's holding the vehicles. Then they'll break that monthly payment down to how much per vehicle. So each vehicle could be basically costing them $10,000 per vehicle if you add up all the vehicles to make it equal what the monthly rent is or the monthly mortgage is. So they want to get the cars out, because if you have car number 57 has been sitting there for months, and you can't keep building. You can't build car number 257 until you sell car number 57, because car number 57 is taking up space, and you only have so much room in that warehouse. So you need to sell car number 57, because it's costing you whatever, $1,000 a day to hold it there, and you can't build more cars to get to more customers. So customer number 257 wants to buy a Tesla, but can't, because car number 57 hasn't been sold. So then customer number 57 might end up getting tired and just go to the competitor and go buy their electric vehicle. I hope that makes sense. And that just, that's how they look at it. So this is a big deal. So they're like, no, we need to get these existing inventories, the cars that have been sitting here for 90 days plus, we need to get them out. So we're going to give a discount on them. And then of course that hurts the margins, because now instead of making it for 1,000 and selling it for 4,000, you're making it for 1,000 and selling it for 2,000. So you go from a $3,000 margin or profit to a $1,000 profit. And if you're owning the stock, you don't like that. So it's gonna drop the stock basically. So Rossner said the new incentives include insurance discounts, discounts on paint changes, and preferential financing plans on the Model Y. So they just giving it all up, just begging these people to come and take these cars. The latest incentives come after Tesla cut prices in January for the Model 3 and Model Y by 5.9% and 2.8% respectively. And you can see today it dropped $14.50 per share. Now, if you translate that you multiply that by the amount of shares out there, and it's like, who knows? It's millions of shares out there. That's like the stock value lost probably over $1 billion in market value. But it's like paper money anyway. So whatever. The competition is fierce in China's EV market, and Tesla having to cut prices and possibly reduce shipments is definitely a concern for investors. On the flip side, at least the threat from BYD won't be materializing in Tesla's U.S. home market, at least for now. Yeah, because politicians and Elon, they're fighting hard to make sure that China can't bring BYD to America. And they're doing that or trying to do that by increasing tariffs on imported electric vehicles from China. America is very proud on being like the car mecca of the world since its inception, and America wants to stay number one in that. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for today. It's your boy Kezio. Let me know what y'all think about this story. If you think that BYD is really coming for Tesla's lunch, if you think that Tesla is going to bounce here, the stock, and yeah, if you think that these price cuts are going to continue with interest rates up and competition and price wars going on in the electric car market. Remember, electric vehicles the sales have been slumping for the past for over 6 months just in general. But we'll see what happens. It's your boy. I'm out. Don't forget to like this video if you got good information from it. I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on. I'll try to find the stories that matter to you. And yeah, this is going to be a good ride. Comment below and subscribe. I'm out.